Hi, I'm Jeff Curbison with the Winnipeg Free Press. Welcome to the Winnipeg Free Press News Café. And I'm here with Rick Hillier, the former Chief of Defence Staff of the Canadian Forces. Now, I'm wondering if we can start off with, as Canada's former top soldier, the war on terror has been going on now for many years. For a lot of people, because it's been a constant story, a lot of them get kind of numb to the story. Can you just please give us an update on where things are right now overseas?
Well, let's be reminded, first of all, that I'm not up to date on everything that's going on overseas because I've not been the Chief of Defence Staff now for 3.5 years and a little bit, and so I don't follow it on a day-to-day perspective. But here's what I think. Canada should be, and Canadians should be very proud of our commitment to Afghanistan and what our young men and women serving our country with civilian support have done there. And what we have tried to do, and time will tell the success or not, is help Afghans actually decide the kind of country, the kind of life that they would like to have. 75 to 80% of Afghanistan, the great swath that goes from the northeast all the way across the north central to the west to Iraq, is back to normal. Afghan army, Afghan security forces, and Afghan governments, to a greater or lesser degree, run their country, provide the life, and start to actually build an economy and a life for people who live there.
You've been rumored to be a potential successor to Prime Minister Stephen Harper. You've been rumored to be a potential candidate for premier in your home province of Newfoundland and Labrador. When was the last time somebody asked you about your political ambitions?
Well, just a few minutes before we sat down, Jeff, you asked me.
Okay.
So listen, I'll give the same answer I've given this past 5, 6, or 7 years. I'm not interested in politics. I have other roles in life that I want to fulfill, and I still want to contribute and still want to be able to help shape and influence, but I think in this awesome country you can do that in a variety of ways, and it doesn't have to be in political office. And secondly, I wouldn't want to impose political office upon either myself or my family, because I think in Canada that's a very heavy imposition, and I don't want to take it on again, not just for me, but also for my family. So no, I'm not interested in politics. I'm not going to be a politician. I say that all the time, and people say, well, he does protest too much, and therefore, no, I'm not.
What role do you foresee for Canada's military into the future here? Do you see it being more of what Canada's historical role was as a peacekeeping nation? Well,
Canada's historical role, started back in the Boer War and the 1873 rebellion out here, and World War I and World War II and Korea, and some peacekeeping operations which were anything but peacekeeping. And so our historical role is one of being a war-fighting nation, and we are a G8 nation, and I think the hard things will continue to have to be done, and Canada will continue to have a responsibility to do them when there are peacekeeping opportunities. And there are actually precious few in the world right now where you can actually do things where there's a peace to actually keep, and you can use soldiers to help do it. There are very few opportunities to do that now. I think Canada would step up, as would most other nations, to do it. But I think Canada's role is that of a G8 nation. We're one of the richest nations in the world. We have the most affluent lifestyle in the world. We're a fantasy for 98% of the world's population, and I think they expect us to step up and do what is necessary around the world, and the situation will determine what is necessary, whether it's war fighting, whether it's peacekeeping, or whether it's something else entirely different.
Well, Rick, I know you've got to head off and catch a flight shortly.
That's my life.
But I want to thank you for taking time to come talk to us after your luncheon today, and answering a few questions for us here at the News Cafe.
Jeff, my pleasure. Thank you very much, man. Pleasure to be here.